So a lot of us are working from home now, right? But here's the thing. When our office moved into the living room, it brought along a guest we didn't invite, major corporate cybersecurity risk. And the really surprising part, your family might just be the new, completely unsuspecting front line in your company's security. Let's just kick things off with a number that probably hits pretty close to home. A recent Cisco study found that a whopping 85% of us who are working parents share our work devices with our kids. You know how it is. Your work laptop becomes the homework station, the gaming console, the weekend movie screen. It feels totally harmless, but that little everyday act, that's the crack in the armor we really need to talk about. Okay, so you let your kid use your work laptop to play a game for an hour. What's the big deal, right? Well, that seemingly innocent moment blurs a really, really critical line. Let's dig into what that actually means for both you and your company. Think about the whole idea of a corporate security perimeter. It used to be simple. It was the four walls of the office building. But now, with so many of us working remotely, that perimeter has just exploded. It now stretches right into your home, covering your home network, your personal devices, and yeah, even your family members. And this is where it gets really tricky. When our work and home lives just blend together, so do the risks. Imagine your teenager clicking on a sketchy link while doing research for school on your work computer. Or your partner accidentally downloading some malware onto the family PC that's on the same Wi-Fi. Those aren't just family problems anymore. They can have huge consequences for your employer's most sensitive data. So, the dangers hiding out in our homes kind of fall into two buckets. First, you've got the simple accidents, the unintentional oops moments. But then there's something way more deliberate and frankly more sinister that we all have to get wise to. And this slide just lays it all out perfectly. Your office network, it's basically a fortress. It's professionally managed, constantly monitored, and locked down tight. Now, your home network, well, it probably still has the default password the internet company gave you 5 years ago, right? The software is likely out of date, and everyone from your toddler on their tablet to your weekend guests are all connected to it. It is a completely different world security-wise. But here's where the threat goes from accidental to intentional, and it gets a lot scarier. Cybercriminals are smart. They know that you've had the company security training, but your family hasn't. And they see your family as the perfect backdoor, a totally unguarded side entrance straight into your company's network. Get this. This is a real-world story. An attacker found a high-level executive's teenage daughter online and became her friend. Just from her social media posts, they figured out personal details, pets' names, her birthday, the exact kind of stuff used for security questions. Then they hijacked her account, sent a malware link to her dad pretending to be her, and he clicked it. I mean, who wouldn't? From there, they were in. They just sat back and watched his company activity for months before launching a massive attack. Wow, I mean, this quote from the report on that case is just so direct. The company's entire defense system was bypassed completely because the attacker didn't go after the employee. They went after his family. The weakest link wasn't a piece of software. It was a person who had absolutely no idea they were a pawn in a corporate espionage game. So all this brings us to a whole new way of thinking about security. If the threats are now inside our homes, then our defenses have to be there too. We need to build what we can call a family firewall. Now, the human firewall is a pretty common idea in cybersecurity. It's this concept that well-trained, alert people are your best defense. But that definition is seriously outdated. In today's world, that firewall can't just be the employee. It has to extend to everyone who lives in the house. And here is the fundamental problem. As one expert put it so well, we give new employees security training when they're onboarded, but we never onboard their families. And yet, as we just saw, a family member's actions can have just as big of an impact. It's a massive, massive blind spot for most companies out there. Okay, so how do we fix this? The good news is it's not about turning your home into some kind of high-tech security compound. It's really about partnership and awareness. So let's look at a practical toolkit that both companies and families can use. The really forward-thinking companies are already on this. They're creating simple, family-friendly security guides. They're sharing some of these cautionary tales. Some are even offering perks like discounted antivirus software for personal devices. But the most important thing they're doing, they're building a culture where an employee can report a potential problem from home without being terrified they're going to get in trouble. And that is the absolute key to all of this. You want your employees to feel totally comfortable coming to you and saying, hey, my son might have clicked on something weird on my laptop. You want them to say that before it blows up into a crisis. And that only happens when the goal is to solve the problem together, not to punish a family for making an honest mistake. So as we start to wrap this up, it becomes really clear that securing the modern workplace isn't just IT's job anymore. It's a shared responsibility. It's a partnership between the company, the employee, and now the entire family. Ultimately, it really all boils down to this one powerful idea. You know that saying, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link? For way too long, we've completely ignored a huge part of that chain. But by bringing our families into the conversation, by empowering them with just a little bit of awareness, we don't just fix a vulnerability. We forge a much, much stronger defense for everyone. And that really leaves us with one final big question to think about. In this new world of work, right now, is your family an unknowing risk just waiting to happen? Or, with a little bit of teamwork and awareness, could they actually become your most valuable, your strongest line of defense? Turns out, that choice is pretty much up to us.